This is the presynaptic neuron, a neuron before the synapse is delivering the message. This neuron is at resting potential, the resting state of a neuron when it's not transmitting information. The dendrites are a neuron's bushy branching extension that receive messages and conduct impulses towards the cell. The dendritic spine are small protrusions from the neuron's dendrite that typically receives input from a single axon of the synapses. The soma is the part of the neuron that contains the nucleus, which directs the manufacture of substances that the neuron needs for growth and maintenance. The nucleus is the center of the cell. Here is where it starts action potential, a neural impulse, a brief electrical charge that travels down the axon. This is the axon, the neuron extensions that receive message and conduct impulses towards the body. These are the myelin sheath, a layer of fatty tissue that insulates axon and increases the velocity of conduction and the action potential along the axon. In between are the nodes of Brandt-Riere. The action potential travels from one location in the cell to another, but the ion flows across the membrane. It occurs only in this spot. Here we have the terminal button, or the axon terminal, the knob-like structure at the end of the axon.
The postsynaptic neuron is the receiver of the neurotransmitter message. The axon terminal releases the neurotransmitters of the presynaptic cell. Neurotransmitters are chemical substances that are stored in very tiny sacs within the terminal buttons and transmit information across the synaptic gap to the next neuron. A synapses is a gap between two nerve cells that pass impulses by a diffusion of a neurotransmitter. A synaptic vesicle stores various neurotransmitters that can be released at various times. Receptor sites receive the synapses. The all or none principles where neurons react to either firing or not firing. Depolarization is when sodium ions rush in through the membranes of the axon and the potassium ions rush out. Reuptake is once the message is received, the neurotransmitters are released from the receptor sites and reabsorbed into the terminal buttons of the sending neuron. These are the same as the presynaptic cell.